Hey. Candid, cleaning conversations. Everybody gather round, it's a celebration that we're still standing. Big up Katrina, she the inspiration. Came up from the bottom, she here with that motivation. Here to teach and inspire, help you aim higher, help you dream bigger, get what you desire. Real recognize, real iron sharp as iron. Let us grow your cleaning business. She ain't playing around, yeah, the queen mean business. So stick around, get down with a podcast. Hold it down, here we go, foot on the gas. Candid, cleaning conversation. Hey, hey, hey.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Candid Cleaning Conversations.
And we are back with another banger. All right, you guys. Today, I am very, very excited about today's guest. He has a 9th grade education. He also has helped his clients create over $1 billion in revenue. That's right. You heard what I said. $1 billion in revenue. And he loves trap music. Okay? Trap music, y'all. All right. He is better known as the king of client attraction. And we know him as Dr. Marquel Russell, you guys. Come on. All right. Let's give it up.
Warm welcome, y'all. Warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming to the show and shedding some light. For the people that don't know who you are, just a brief background story on who you are and how you became the king of client attraction.
Yeah, so first off, thank y'all so much for having me. I definitely appreciate it. I never take it lightly when somebody bring me into their community, because of course it takes time and trust and all that to build a community. And for you to bring others in, that speaks to the trust that you have to bring them into the community. So I definitely appreciate that. In terms of quick story, it's pretty. You covered a lot in the intro, right? So I dropped out of high school in 10th grade. I got a 9th grade education. One of my first business ventures early on in my life was in the pharmaceutical industry. All right, so that's what I went into when I jumped out in the streets early on. Fast forward, I got into the entertainment industry doing music, club promotions, artist management, and so forth, which led me into network marketing. And when I was doing club promotions, I kind of knew that I was doing marketing and branding a little bit, but I didn't really know what I was doing specifically. But I got introduced to network marketing, where those home meetings, home parties, where you recruit people, you get paid off what they do, you build a downline, all those different things. Right. But it didn't really teach you how to generate leads and market. So that actually led me into learning about the internet, right? That exposed me to the internet actually. And then that led me to learning about this thing called direct response marketing, and how do you generate leads? How do you convert those leads into clients? So it really got me obsessed with that whole world and how to learn it, because I was trying to fix a problem for myself in terms of how to get leads to grow my business, because the people who I grew up with, they weren't really interested in doing legitimate business. So I had to figure out how to grow this thing outside of my immediate network. So as I started learning, I was like, man, if my people, specifically Black businesses, knew how to effectively market and attract clients and get leads, that'll be game changers, because that's why most businesses go out of business. They don't know how to consistently get leads and clients to come in the door, right? So I went on this journey, I was just learning, and as I was learning, I was just teaching what I was learning. I was learning, I was teaching what I was learning. I was learning, I was teaching what I was learning. And people started reaching out, asking me, could I teach them what I was doing? And I learned that coaching was the thing. So I started a coaching program. I started coaching people, teaching what I was doing, charging pennies, because I didn't really have an understanding about pricing myself and stuff like that. So I started teaching people started getting results. And at this time I was still doing other things, but as I started seeing other people getting results, I actually was like, I'm gonna go all in on this, because I see this is a big problem for business owners. And we started this company called Client Attraction University. And like you said, to date, we've helped our clients to over $1 billion in revenue. We was just on Inc. 5000's fastest growing companies list in America. So so I just learned all this in the trenches in real life, no business school, no traditional business school, no marketing school, no MBAs or nothing, just a lot of hard lessons, real life in the trenches. Spending millions of dollars on ads of our own money, learning and testing and making all the mistakes, and all that good stuff, which gives me the opportunity to be on podcasts and so forth with cool people like y'all.
Awesome.
Absolutely. With that being said, Marquel, like I definitely got to give a shout out to you because you're doing big things out here in the industry, especially with AI, taking over and everything like that. I definitely want to know, like, what separates you from other coaches?
So I would say the biggest thing that so here's what I found, right? So doing something is one set of skills, right? Being able to do something. So like let's say somebody can build $1 million business. Okay, that's one skill, right? Being able to teach what they did so that other people can actually do it, that's another set of skills. And being able to do both of them is a very rare set of skills, right? So somebody can do something and they call themselves a coach, but they can't really extract what they did to teach other people how to do it, right? The thing, what makes us different is that we've been able to do it at a really high level and also been able to unpack it and document it and systemize it so that other individuals, regardless of how much they know about the marketing stuff, and they don't have to have the as in-depth knowledge as I have about it, but they can actually follow the system that we've created to do it over and over and over again so we can duplicate the level of results, which leads to the amount of success stories that we've created. Like nobody who claims to do what we do has the amount of success stories that we have. And that speaks to not Marquel, but it speaks to like the system and like how systemized and dialed in the system is and our amazing team.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I love that.
Okay. So what do you think is one of the biggest challenges with a new business owner in marketing? I coach people and I noticed that for some reason they just can't get the whole ads part, or they don't even know where to start at. They can't stay consistent. Like, what is it? What is the biggest challenge with marketing in your business?
So I think two things, right? I think number one, a lot of times, especially newer people, they're always looking for like an easier way outside of just developing the skills, right? Like at the end of the day, you got to develop a skill set, right? It's no shortcut to it, right? Somebody says, well, I'm gonna use AI. Well, you still got to have certain skill sets to leverage AI in the right way. From a marketing standpoint, I think the biggest thing that I see is that a lot of new business owners or seasoned business owners, they aren't crystal clear. They can't articulate what they do for a specific audience. So they can't articulate it in a way where they are speaking to a specific audience and clarifying the exact problem that they solve in one simple sentence, right? So I think that's the biggest thing. So because if they don't got their messaging figured out, like who they speak to, what's the pains and challenges of this ideal client, what's the dreams and aspirations, they don't got all that stuff clear, it's impossible to create effective ads, right? Because you can't outspend like terrible messaging and a terrible offer. And all that's going to be dialed into like the messaging and stuff like that. So I think that's the biggest thing when I ask somebody what they do. It's this big elusive type answer where you're like, what does that mean, right? It's just like if somebody says, well, what do you do? And they say, well, I'm a business coach. And you're like, what does that mean, right? And they're like, well, I help businesses. Well, help businesses how? And they say, well, I help businesses with anything. Like if somebody tells me that, I automatically know that they're not that good because business is too dynamic and too layered for one person to be able to help somebody with everything. Like you gotta, what's your specialty as it relates to your skill set? And most people don't do that work yet. That's why their marketing really doesn't work the way they want it to.
I like that. I like that. Just to piggyback off of what you just said, Marquel, like I know that a lot of coaches out here, brand new coaches, they're trying to charge high ticket, right? So what you just said, like, how do you feel about them trying to come out and try to charge high ticket? Because they're seeing somebody else's ending as their beginning and they're trying to do the same thing and duplicate it.
So I think pricing really boils down to like, what is the outcome that you provide worth, right? I don't think it boils down to like how long you've been coaching. I think it boils down to like, what's the price like what is the transformation worth, right? So let's just say, for example, let's say somebody just went on a journey for the last 6 months and they lost 50 pounds, right? And then they decide to start coaching and teaching people that journey. They document the entire journey. Now they want to teach other people how to do it. So yes, they're brand new to coaching other people, but they aren't brand new to weight loss, right? Because they actually got documented results. So I don't think they say, a lot of times people say, okay, well, I'm gonna charge a little bit because I just got started teaching people. And I typically tell people, like, as a coach or as a consultant or as a service provider in general, you don't get paid based on tenure, right? Meaning how long you've been doing it. You get paid based on the transformation that you provide. Like, yes, you've lost these 50 pounds. Yes, you got a documented system. Yes, you may have helped some other people duplicate it. So now how do you price that? Well, it depends on, like, what's the price? What is the transformation worth, right? So if somebody's been in corporate America, let's say they've been in corporate America, they've excelled, and now they're in leadership. They've helped other people get into leadership. Now they want to start consulting and coaching other people on how to ascend into leadership in corporate, right? And they've been in corporate 20 years. So they got 20 years of experience developing the skill set, but now they just decided to start coaching people. So that doesn't mean they're not pricing it based on, well, yeah, I'm just starting as a coach. They're pricing it based on what's the value of the transformation I provide, and these 20 years that I've invested to be able to develop this skill set so that I can teach you how to do this in 90 days versus 20 years that I did. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes all the sense in the world.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. A lot of people need to go up on them prices.
About
100%.
It gotta be
100%.
about the transformation.
Yeah,
A lot of
people, transformation is worth it.
Right. A lot of people, right, are nowadays they all about the transaction. And I feel like that's they get it wrong because, and that's one of the things I really respect about you, Marquel, is like for real, you about the client. You understand? You're about what they can get out of it, more so of what you, of course, you charge for it because that's your time and your experience. But I love the fact that you concentrate on the client and their results. I love it.
And the fact that you have that wall of proof of all of these successful people that have went through your program, and we ain't seen no scammer stuff on your program yet. You know, you got these people out here just putting people on blast, and we ain't seen you come up yet.
No, I ain't coming up. Like I come from a different, like I come from a different world, right? So it's like where I'm from, like a lot of the stuff I see that go on the internet, like that won't fly where I'm from. Like you got to answer to stuff like that. Like you can't just take somebody's money and think you're not gonna get dealt with, right? So I kind of bring a lot of those morals from there. Like I be hearing people like say, well, this person took 5,000 from them and then disappeared, or 10,000 and disappeared. I'm like, man, it's people that get killed for less than that where I'm from. So it's like people be thinking they can hide because it's the internet, and it's like they think they're in a different state, but it's like you can get touched still. Like people can hop on a flight. Like it's easy for you to be touched, right? When if you mess with the wrong person. So I just kind of bring a lot of the morals from there, from where my previous life to this life, and so I don't do business like that.
You don't do bad business. That's right. I love it. All right. So my next question is all about balance. Okay. So I know you're a coach, and as you're helping people grow their business, you also have to grow your own business. Right. So how do you balance it out? You know, can it be hard trying to take people to the top with you while you're still trying to climb yourself? Can it be overwhelming?
So it can be if you're not careful, right? So I think the biggest thing, I don't believe in this concept of balance like most people call it, because balance would mean, okay, I work with them 50%, I work do this 50%, I do this, right? So so like for example, if it's 24 hours in a day, and if we say, okay, I do 6 hours on my business, 6 hours with this person, 6 hours with my wife, 6 hours with my kid, 6 hours in the gym, right? It don't work like that, right? So it's like I think it really boils down to just prioritization. And then my greatest tool and asset is my calendar, right? My Google Calendar. So it's like, if it ain't on the calendar, then it's not real. So it's like, okay, I got time on the calendar for client stuff. I got time on the calendar for events, time on the calendar for meetings with the team or whatever we got going on. And we just got everything scheduled across the board. So I think that's the greatest thing, like leveraging the calendar versus like trying to remember it in my head and working off of the calendar.
Right. That makes sense. So you don't get burnt out. You don't experience that burnt out. I know for us, what I do is I take my Sundays and I just spend that with my kids, uninterrupted time, just me, them. Y'all got me all day for Sunday, but all the rest of the week, I got to balance out these companies, the coaching and the cleaning,
For sure.
Working on that.
It's a process, for sure. It's definitely a process.
Yes.
No, that's right. All right, so the next question would be, like, just with you mentally having to go through everything that you have gone through, from the startup, going through, jail and everything like that, like, how are you able to mentally sustain everything and still pivot? Like, that's my question, because it's hard, especially with thinking that you may not make it because you know what I'm saying, because you locked up. And how are you able to still prevail past that?
I would say
Hey you guys, so sorry, I hate to bother you guys again, but I have to tell you about our community, okay? Tenacity Academy community full of cleaning business owners. Right now we have over 200 members inside of our community right now, okay? You can tap into our community for free and you can join our lives on Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, okay? Or you can join our paid program, which is $55 a month, and you can still join our lives. You can join our challenges, and you can actually win cash. You can win leads. We give away money. We give away leads every week, okay? And you're able to win those challenges and those leads, okay? When you're a part of our paid community, you'll also get access to our courses. You also get access to our library, for our replay library, okay? So for some people that may not have time to catch the live Q&A, we put all of the live Q&As inside of a library, and the paid community is able to tap into that library. That library is very, very valuable, okay? So all of that for $55 a month. So if you cannot afford our mentorship program, you can at least get inside the community for $55 a month and still get massive value, okay? And if not, just tap into our free community, and I'll see you guys Saturday night at 8 o'clock, okay? But I think you guys will enjoy it. See you on the other side. Peace.
You know what I mean? And make it to where you at today.
Yeah. I think first and foremost, God, right? I mean, that's the only explanation for where I am, from where I come from, right? Because like nothing about my life makes sense, right? It's like, how is this guy doing this, right? That it's no logical explanation for. I could say, work hard and just stay focused and just stay motivated. And it's like, yeah, I get it. But it's like, God, first and foremost. So staying in alignment from a spiritual standpoint, doing that work, understanding God, my relation to God, my calling and what I'm doing, and then also doing the personal work, right? Doing the therapy, doing the reading, doing the all the necessary personal development work throughout this journey, because it's a never-ending process. And it's like a lot of times people think when you do like personal work, whether it's therapy, whether it's personal development, whatever, like the other stuff goes away. It doesn't. I don't think it does. I think you're just now more aware of it. So now when it does come up, you actually got tools to help you navigate it.
Yeah, it's very important to keep that your mental health and entrepreneurship go hand in hand.
100%.
I mean, it's very important. I know on one of your interviews, I heard you compare entrepreneurship to being an athlete.
Yeah.
And I was like,
100%.
damn, you're right. You're right about that. Okay. You really have to, have your mind, body, soul fit for this world, or else
100%.
it'll eat you up. You might as well go back to the 9-to-5 world. Okay.
100%.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about ads. When it comes to running ads, do you think that a person should start off with paid ads or organic? Just do it organically. Because I know a lot of people, when it comes to paid ads, they don't know what the hell they're doing. So which way is more smart, the smarter way to go? Organically, they just pay for ads.
So here's the rest. So just to kind of speak to what some of you just said, right? When people are starting out, they don't know what they're doing with none of it, right? So even with the organic stuff, they don't even know what they're doing, right? So I believe that so of course y'all know wealthy people think both and, right? So they don't think either or, right? We think both and. So it's like I believe in a both and world, right? So I believe you do both, because when you tie both of them together, they feed each other. So a buddy of mine did a study where he did a test where he was doing content every day while he was running his ads. And I tell my clients the same thing. Like I always advise them the same thing, but I shared this data with them. So he was running ads every day while creating content every day, right? And then he stopped doing content and he was just doing ads. And what he noticed was that when he was doing content every day while his ads was running, his ads were actually 300% more profitable, right? So I believe you do both. Like you run ads because your ads are now going to get your content more eyeballs on it. Because when somebody sees your ad, what are they going to do? They're typically going to Google you, or they're going to go to your Instagram, they're going to go to your Facebook or your YouTube and see what else you got going on. Now they're going to start consuming your content. If they consume your content, if you got it set it up right? Now when they consume your content, now you can have it set up where now they start seeing your ads. So now you create this ecosystem. So you actually want to have, ideally, you want to have both of them running at the same time.
Gotcha. Then at the end of the day, I guess it all falls back down to the messaging and all that too.
It starts with the messaging. 100%. That's the messaging, and all of that that's the foundation. That's the foundation.
All right, y'all. I hope
you can even just think about it. I mean, you're asking me questions about marketing and client attraction and ads specifically. Why?
Yeah, to get more clients. We want to.
Because y'all have heard me talking. Because apparently y'all have heard me talking about ads, getting clients, that type of thing, right?
Right. That's right.
So the messaging was clear, apparently. So he's like, okay, we need to have a conversation with him about this specific thing. So it's like a lot of times people can't have these conversations. Like I tell people, it's like sometimes people trying to do multiple things, and I'm like, well, nobody can ever bring you on their podcast or put you on their stage because they're not even clear on like what you do and the value you bring. So why would they put you on their stage? They're going to look for a specialist who specializes in this specific thing to bring them on. So the messaging is foundation. We can't do any marketing without the messaging.
That's right. So I like that. So out of everything you have ever done, like what's one success story that has always stuck with you to let you know, dang, I'm really out here doing something?
It's so many.
That's a hard. I seen the wall of proof last night. Like I was like,
it was too many. I kept scrolling. I'm like, is it gonna stop? It was like it kept going. I'm like, is it gonna stop? No, it kept going.
It don't stop. It don't stop.
That's a hard question for you to answer because I'm like, he got.
I
got you though. I got you. So I'll share two. So one is I got Kristen. Y'all probably saw Kristen on there. Kristen the Truth Jones. Kristen is like 17 now. We started working together. He was 12 though, and he got his he was 12. He got his first three. He told him he was basically like, hey, I want to make $100,000 by the time I turn 13. Right. So he made his first $3,000 sale. By the time he turned 13, he made $103,000. Y'all probably saw the video when he talked about that. And then now, he's like 16, 17. He's in high school. He makes a couple $100,000 a month. So that's one. Tammy and Sheldon, y'all probably saw them there in the trucking space. When we started working together, they were doing like $4,000 a month. That was like their best month, and they was like hustling. They was working like 100 hours a piece per week to try to figure out how to get clients for it. First month we started working together, we got them, they did like 20-some thousand, then it went 30,000 and 40-some thousand. And I think last year they ended around like 2 million or something like that. So and then they work a fraction of the time. So yeah, so those are just two like routes I made, but I could go crazy with that.
What's up? So what does the 13-year-old, what does he sell?
He teaches people how to invest in the stock market.
Damn, he do stock market. That's what's up now.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So what advice would you give to a new business owner? We often have people come to our community, and for some reason, people want the rapid growth.
They want to
Success.
quick.
They want to get there quick. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm just curious on your answer. If your answer is anything like my answer to rapid growth success, you know, when they come in and they're just like, man, how can I get from A to Z in like 6 months? How can I get there fast? If somebody wants to get there fast, what is your advice for that?
So I would ask. So it's layered, right? So it's like, do you want to get there fast or do you want to get there sustainably, right? Because for example, if let's say for example, somebody gets to 20,000 a month, they're like, okay, I got 20,000 a month. I know that's a number for a lot of people. And then the next month you don't make anything, right? So was it? And then the next month you make a little bit, right? So it's like, was it really sustainable? No, it wasn't. So I think it depends. It depends because a lot of times people don't have like a tactical issue. A lot of times they have like a mental, like an inner game issue that's hindering them, right? So if they're too desperate to make the money will like elude them basically. It'll seem like it's running away from them because they're just too desperate. Because a lot of business owners or wannabe business owners, they're asking, okay, what can I get versus what can I give, right? What value do I have? What transformation can I provide? And you say, okay, can you focus on doing this particular process for the next 6 months, right? And then we'll see what happens after you get to that point. So this is the process. Can you run this process for this particular time, right? Because the reality is, and I tell a lot of clients, is like, look, it's probably going to take you longer than you think it's going to take. It's most likely going to be harder than you think it's going to be. However, it's actually most likely going to be better than you think it's going to be. Are you willing to put in the work, though? Most people aren't willing to put in the work. So that's what it really all boils down to.
That's true.
Like everybody ain't built like the world and the internet that made entrepreneurship just sexy. So easy, you know, everybody seem like they're riding Lambos and doing photo shoots or whatever at this private jet they rented in this Airbnb, and it's like now everybody thinking like, oh man, it's easy. All I gotta do is set up a site, or all I gotta do is this. And it's like, no, that's the internet. They got you food. Like you actually gotta build something. You gotta grow. Right?
Yeah.
How do you view yourself? Like you're never going to outperform like your belief in your identity. So it's like you can't skip that. Or sometimes people are like, well, I don't need the mindset stuff. I just need to know what to do. And it's like people who say stuff like that, those are the people who need the mindset stuff the most. Because all the people I know who make millions, they seek the mindset stuff. Right. And then everybody who I know who make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, they always talking about they don't need the mindset stuff. And it's like, it's the craziest thing to me.
It's weird. Weird. Everything literally is mindset. Right. 100%. It all starts with right here. You know, 100%. Like when we talk to cleaning business owners that are doing multi-million, they're like way up there. It's the only thing that's different between me and them is the mind. Like they decided. I interviewed Mario Kelly last week, and Mario Kelly, he just cleaned up after Beyonce at the stadium, and know, I was like, damn, I ain't never think about that. You know, I didn't think about cleaning the stadiums, the arenas, and stuff like that. But mindset.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's different. You know, he's like, man, I want something bigger.
Yeah. 100%. All right. So I'm tired of feeling all uptight and all nervous and stuff. So I gotta ask you this question, like for real. I know in the introduction it say you are a lover of trap music, which I'm pretty sure you are, but
Sure.
I can't even recall a time I heard you even cuss. Like for real. You don't even cuss. I've never heard you cuss. So it's
probably a part of his
mind-blowing.
brand though.
It's mind blowing to me. Like, what's one of your favorite songs and artists?
In order, I mean, I'm a connoisseur, right? I think my favorite who's out now is Lil Baby. But you know, I grew up on like my all-time trap music, Jeezy, right? But I grew up on that. I grew up on Jeezy, Tip, Gucci, yeah, I mean, even further than that, UGK, right? That was trap music. 8 Ball and MJG, like that was trap music. They didn't call it that, but like same thing, right? So I grew up on that. I over the past few years, I've been able to appreciate. I didn't grow up appreciating Jay-Z as much because I mean I'm like in the South, right? So I wasn't really into it. But it's like now as I listen back to it, I'm like, oh, Jay was talking that talk too. But I just wasn't into it, right? But like now, I think my favorite is Lil Baby. Like Lil Baby don't miss. Yeah, that's my new era favorite.
Right? Baby.
Yeah.
Okay, as far as podcasts, what's your favorite podcast that you are listening to right now? Like, what has Marquel Russell's ear in the podcast world?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't necessarily have. It just depends, right? It depends on kind of what vibe I'm in and kind of what pops up. I don't necessarily have one where it's like, hey, I gotta listen to this one. However, so I would say 3 of my favorites, because this is how I am. It's like one is I got David Shans. He got the Social Proof podcast. Y'all familiar with Dave, right?
Yeah.
That's my man's. So these are my 3 top favorites that I've been on so far. Of course, my guy AJ, y'all know AJ. That's that's how we connected on his show. Dave, my guy Ash Cash got a dope podcast, Inside the Vault.
Yep, I got his book right there.
Nice. And then my guy Marcus Rozier.
He's really good.
Yeah, I mean that's my guy. He was a client before. Of course, Dave was a client. But these are my guys, right? But I would say if I was gonna shout out, I mean I listen to some other random ones. But if I was to shout somebody's out in front of folks, I mean I gotta keep it a stack, right?
There you go.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So they'll be.
And by the way, I got one more. Especially for coaches, you get to choose. So it's a podcast called You Get to Choose. It's hosted by Coach D, Coach Jen, Coach C, and Coach Mike. They're actually part of our CIU team as well, but they also got their own. They got a podcast, super dope, super in depth. Having some real conversations for coaches. So that's definitely one for y'all to check out too.
All right, bet. How are you able to like peep out some real people? You know what I'm saying? Because with you going through what you went through, like just anybody in life having to decipher like if a person is a good person or not. Like, how are you able to decipher if they're good for you, like for your company?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not 100%. So in terms of like hiring, is that right?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm looking at. For me, I think I've learned more and more about that over the years. Cause like for me, I'm naturally a coach, so I see potential, right? So sometimes I make the mistake of hiring for potential, and they actually aren't the best fit. Or sometimes I keep them longer than I should because I see the potential, even though they may not see it, and even though they may not be performing up to par, right? So that's still a hard lesson that I've learned, if I'm being totally transparent, as growing a company. And I would say hiring and even firing probably isn't one of my top strengths, even as a CEO. Because again, I see potential. I want people to win, and I'm loyal. And sometimes I'm loyal to a fault. And again, some of that still just comes from my past life. So that's definitely, so it just depends. So I'm looking at now, I look for more so a performance and the skill set. And if somebody is coachable, right? Are they coachable? Are they in alignment with the vision and mission? Are they willing to grow? Right? Do they have the skills? Do they have integrity? Like, what they say they're gonna do they do it? Or do they always have excuses? So those are some of the things that I'm looking for though.
All right, yeah, because I know with us, just bringing like people onto our team and stuff like that, and then just people in general, it's kind of hard to decipher people's character because they can put on a facade, a good facade. Yep. They'll talk real classy and talk like they know books. You know what I'm saying? Then you bring them on a team and they do a whole 360. Yeah. And my thing is trust with me. Like you double cross me one time, it's a wrap with me. I don't care who you is. You feel me? Yeah. I don't like it because I feel like if you lie to me, you will steal from me, and I can't trust you. I feel like people do change, but I don't deal with it. Yeah. And I did hear you on the podcast. Shout out to where you don't trust people like that either. You understand? Like, if they'll lie to you, they'll steal from you, and you can't have people like that around you. I just wanted to know that.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think the best way that I found now is like doing like a 30 day, 60 day, 90 day type of thing. So like starting off with like a probationary trial period just to kind of see how it works. And then from there, because you don't really know if you can work with somebody until you actually work with them. So if you see that they kind of they're checking off some of the boxes, then okay, you remember, okay, cool, let me get this a 30 day, 60 day, 90 day like trial period. And then see if it makes sense for like a long-term type of thing.
That makes sense. In our company, we actually give our contractors 3 days.
There you go. I mean, that could work. Yeah.
Like, it's a service-based business, though. You know, I know it within 3 days whether you could stay.
100%. 100%. I think depending on the role, that 3 days is like, because people going to show you early on, like, who they are, right? Sometimes people don't make it. It's like, first day somebody show up late. It's like, all right, cool. Like, we done. Like, we don't need to do 30 days of this. Like, first day you show up late, like, you already told me everything I need to know about you.
Period. Yep. Love it.
It's interesting though. It's interesting because nobody's ever said that what you said earlier when you was like, I heard you say you like trap music, but I've never heard you cuss in none of your stuff. That's interesting. Nobody ever pointed out.
Man, let me tell you, I look at all your videos faithfully like it's my Bible. You know, and I'm just saying, like, I hope I won't be all topic or anything like that. I hope you don't feel uncomfortable when I say that. But I'm like, he like trap music, but I ain't never heard him cuss.
I just figured it's probably a part of your brain. You know.
I used to. But I just got to a point where it's like, no judgment to nobody, right? But it's just like, it's not really for me. And part of my identity I want to continue to develop is like, it's not necessary. Right. Again, people who do, that's fine, right? I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with people who do, but it's just like I don't necessarily have to express myself.
I love it. There you go.
I love it. I listen. I used to now, like, you know what I'm saying?
I
was deliberate. Like, I used to do that. I used to smoke a lot of weed. I used to drink. I used to do a lot of like stuff, right? But it's like, at some point, like, and all of my people I'm around regularly cuss, right? And it's like, and I don't judge them. They don't feel uncomfortable around me when they cuss. It's like, everybody to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got folks who I don't drink no more. But when I'm around folks who drink, and like, I ain't judging them. It's like, you know, that's your thing. People also think I smoke and drink, right? Because of trap music or how I look.
Yeah.
But I was at a thing one time, and they was like eating edibles and drinking and smoking. I'm like at a business event, and I was like, man, you don't do nothing. They couldn't believe it. And I'm like, nah. And they was eating fried chicken. It's like, you don't eat fried chicken or nothing? I'm like, no, I don't know, bro. They couldn't believe it. Right? Wow. It's just because I look a certain way. They're like, oh, you gotta smoke, you gotta drink, you gotta,
So you don't eat fried chicken no more?
No, I don't eat anything that comes from an animal anymore. Like, I eat a plant-based diet.
Okay. How long have you been on a plant-based diet?
Like 5 years. I didn't slip, but I switched it up a couple times. A couple times I did like some salmon, I did some different stuff, just like on some fitness stuff. Because like some trainers I worked with was like, okay, they help you build muscle faster, whatever. I found that not to be true, and my body functions better on a plant-based diet. So my main meal, I eat the majority of the thing I eat is fruit. So probably 70-80% of my diet is fruit, and then the rest is veggies. So like my first meal of the day will be at 12, and then it'll be a green smoothie.
Wow, I love that. That has a lot to do with your focus and your energy too. And I've been trying to tell people what you put into your body. You've been wondering why you got an attitude. You wondering why you sluggish all day and stuff like that. Yep. All that stuff, like you putting something dead inside of your body. Like what you think will happen. Like people 100%. Don't. But I ain't even gonna go deep into that because that's another high level conversation.
All right, man. So we gonna wrap it up. We gonna close it up right now. I just wanted to say thank you, and for you to let everybody know where they can find you at. I know you're gonna be speaking at the Clean Biz Network Conference next year, February 28th to March the 1st. You guys, I think
it's right around the corner.
Right around the corner now.
Literally.
I think you're going to be speaking on March, if I'm not mistaken, March the 1st. I think you're on the 3rd day. But anyway, you guys, y'all need to get your tickets. If you want to meet this man, you can meet him in person, okay, in February at the Clean Biz Network Conference. And just let everybody know where they can meet you at, where they can find you at, your website, all of your social media.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm whatever your favorite social media platform is, I'm there. Just type in Marquel Russell, MarQuel RUSSELL. If you're on Instagram, shoot me a DM. Say, hey, I saw you on the podcast, and then let's connect. If you are a service-based business owner, which I'm pretty sure you are if you're watching this, and you want to get more leads for your business, I have something called the Paid Ad Playbook, PAID Ad Playbook. And it shows you how to use ads to get 50 to 100 leads every single day that convert into clients. So if you go to paydadplaybook.com, you can get that for 100% free. And then, and just dive into some of that, dive into some of the free content. We got it all over the place. And if you think you want to work together deeper, let's have a conversation. But the free stuff, go dive into that. Pay That Playbook. I get tons of great feedback from that. So go check it out.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on our little platform. Okay.
Right.
Not a little. Come on, wait. Ain't no little. Ain't nothing little. Everything we do is big.
We don't be what.
Everything we do is big. This is a big platform.
Okay. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay.
For sure. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, you know why you may be struggling in your cleaning company right now? It's because you're surrounding yourself with a bunch of losers. I'm sorry. I hate to sound harsh, but it's true. You need to be surrounding yourself with high-level cleaning business owners, okay? Now, I know. You may say, well, where would I find them at? Like, where would I find multi-million-dollar cleaning business owners that I can network with, okay? Well, I may have the solution for you because Clean Biz Network is doing it again. We have an event coming up February 28th, 2024, okay, all the way until March the 1st. All right, and this is a networking event that you will not want to miss. We have Debbie Zardon. She's going to be speaking on stage, and she always kills it. Along with my boy, Mr. Marquel Russell. He is the king of client attraction. You definitely want to stay to hear everything that he has to say. We also have Mr. Eric Coffey. He's going to be hitting the stage talking about government contracts for anybody that's interested in government contracts. You can network with him. Also, we got Carolyn hitting the stage, the cleaning business mentor. We have Raylan from the Hustle Network hitting the stage, along with DJ The Boss and a host of other speakers that's going to be there for you to network with. I mean, this is a networking event and it's going to be huge. It's going to be amazing. It's hosted all by your girl, Miss Johnson from Tenacity Academy, and it's founded by AJ Simmons, the owner of Clean Biz Network. All right, so we will all be there, and you can network with me and all my cleaning business buddies. All right, all of your favorite influencers, I guarantee you, will be in the building for you to just sit there and network and ask them all the questions that you want to ask, get their phone numbers, and really build relationships. That's what this thing is all about. Okay, because your network is directly connected to your net worth. I'll see you guys in Vegas. Get your tickets today. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until February to start booking your tickets. Get your tickets right now. I'll see you in Vegas.